Welcome to DIY RV and Home Camper's Life. My name's Greg. Today it's a continuation of our RV electrical system upgrade. Now, kind of catch you up, right above is a link to the playlist for the RV electrical system upgrade. What I'm doing today is I've already located how I want to run the cable for the battery monitor, the inverter switch, and also the power cable going back to the breaker panel. I've got a string run for that. It's right here. And I've got me a little bit of extra cable because where the equipment is going in, it's going to go right in there into the center. So a little ways in. So I've got some extra wire pulled. That should be good. We'll go up and back inside the trailer and we will make sure that we have enough to run enough wire on the battery monitor and also on the inverter switch to run that length. So what I'm going to do is tie a string back onto that string right there, pull it back through, and I'll have this marked out to the length I need, and then I will see if my wires for my inverter switch and for my battery monitor are long enough. Let me go get that tied on. So I've got the string attached outside, the one I'm going to pull back through, and I've also got it hooked on part of the trailer so I don't accidentally pull it all the way through. That wouldn't be fun because then I'd have to really run the wire. Now the wire is going to come up this wall into this area, so I'm going to go just kind of say like that. So I'm going to set you down. Now that I know the length of what I need for wires, I'm going to go ahead and put a little knot in it. And then I'm going to go ahead, so I know where the end of it is. I'm going to go ahead and pull this back through. And hopefully no snags. All works out. And there it is. So we pull the wire back through. Go ahead and untie it. Keep that string out of the way. So this is the length of the wire I need. I'm going to set this one over here out of the way. I've got the control wire for the inverter over here, and I've got the string over there. Hopefully they don't get mixed up and tangled up. So here we go. We're just going to set that right there. We're going to start pulling. And all you do is you keep your hand on both of them. Don't let them slip. Keep them from getting tangled up. And how are we going to make it? So a survey says I should have approximately 2 feet extra. Look at that. So go ahead and now I'm going to go ahead and lay out where I want the gauges. It feels like there's a stud right there, so I have to place it properly, appropriately, because this is the template that I'm going to be using, and what's open is the area that I need to have open for the back of the back of the switch and the gauge itself. So now, so yeah, that feels like that's right about where that stud is, so I'm going to have to kind of go off center like this, kind of in between, looks like. So maybe, just maybe, what I'll do is I will kind of line it up like that. That way it will have some uniformity. Let's look underneath real quick. How's our holes laid out? Oh, look at that. We have both stud bays to work with. That's good. So we can actually run up that center stud bay. So if we wanted to, we actually can put it right here. Like that. And I think that's what we're going to do. That way we can make it look halfway decent. Let me get some stuff set up and I'll bring you back when I get ready to actually go and mark the template out. So, show you what I've done so far. Went ahead and I took a tape, measured to the top of the thermostat. Then I did the same thing right over here and drew a line. Now that's a straight line, not a exactly possible level line, but it's going to be in parallel with the ceiling. How's that? I can check the floor if I want. But I've got a stud right about here, and I've also got a stud over here in this area too that I've got to deal with. So I know that I'm going to be putting it in this area right here. That's the hole I'm going to be cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and set it right like this. I'll probably put a hole right in that area. Then I will find the exact position of that stud. I'll cut right up to it. That way, some of my mount screws for my faceplate will actually tie in to that stud. Then the other two over here, I'm going to put a piece of backing on it, and then those will screw into that instead of just screwing into this paneling. So I'm going to make me a hole, figure out where I got to be, and then come back. Hopefully, when I'm all ready and done, my faceplate will be ready to actually install. I've got it drying right now. I put it in there, clear coat it this morning. So anyways, punch a hole, be back. Check it out. I'm going to be using a jackery just because I don't feel like going and finding an extension cord. Make some holes. Here we go. Got her turned on. She's at 69%. That's how you make a hole. Well, I just didn't feel like changing out the bit, the cutter. So, come in here. We're gonna just go boom, boom, boom. So we are. All right, so we're 1 3/8. Feels like to the stud right there. So what we will do is come over and let's go 1 inch. 3/8. Right about there. And I'm just going to pull it back just a smidge, like that. We're on the line. All right, so it's marked out where I need to cut. As you see, I've tapered these in a little bit, and that's way I can put some extra backer behind. If I went straight, I would actually be into my screws that I've got for the faceplate. So I'll run some backer like this on the inside, glue it, and that way I've got some good bite on this side of the faceplate. So this is going to be where the monitor is, and this is going to be the switch. Let's turn and burn. Let's cut her out. success. Right up against, so I'm going to be able to use that stud as the backer. She looks good, good. So I'm ready to run the power cord that's going to the breaker panel through that hole that I was talking about earlier. I've got the string tied to it. I've got it taped up at the very tip. I've got a couple half hitches in it. So these half hitches, the harder you pull, actually the more it's going to cinch down on it. So I'm going to go ahead, grab and start pulling, and hopefully I can pull this through, and then I'll come back and pull the string back, get prepped, and I want to pull this through. Now I've taken a piece of 1/2 inch PVC, just kind of warmed it up, ovaled it out so where I can fit both the plugs for the monitor along with the inverter switch in there. I've got it taped up. I'll do some more taping, but I want to use that so that I'm not damaging the ends as I'm pulling the wire. As you can see, it's just a little bit bigger than the size of that other wire, of the main wire going back, so I should be all right. So let's get this semi ready. What I mean by that is I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the hole and get it partially ready to run. Make sure that this is out of the way, and I might have to call upon my wife to give me a little help on this in a minute, but we'll find out. So there's the red wire, there's the wire right there. So what I'm going to do is, since that's a fairly big wire, let's get our this out. And now this is going to be the hard part where I can't show you pulling. So I'm going to try to get it pulled over here. I'll let you know how well it went. And then we'll work on running it forward. All right, be right back. So I was worried about it being a hard pull to get out. I tugged, and as you can see, lo and behold, there she is right there. There is the wire. So I'm going to go ahead and get this pulled all the way through so I can get all the slack out of the trailer. Maybe put just a little bit of slack in there for if I have to work on it. Get that moved, then we'll set up for the next one. This is working good. So we got it run down. We've got it pulled as tight as I want it inside. And now I'm starting to work it along where, along with the other wires. There's a hole right here in the frame. So I'm running it through that. I'll pull it all the way over there, get it to where I want it. And I'll probably just leave this one coiled up over there for right now. Come back, take the string off, pull the string back over, grab the other wires, bring them out. We'll bring them over here, and hopefully we were right on our measurements. And once we do that, the faceplate's ready to go on. Put the faceplate on today, and we're going to call it done. So be back with you in a few. With the power cord run, and got a little slack in it now. That's good. I'm ready to run my cords for my monitor and my switch, and I did the same thing again. I've got a couple half hitches in it, got some tape around it, and I'm ready to pull. So I'll get this one partially into the hole, then I'll go grab that wire, and this one I'm going to be really easy on pulling. The power cord hose you can pull pretty hard on, but I don't want to damage these other cords. So okay, let's come in. Just like that. Look at that. There they are. Okay, now before I get too crazy, let's go in and make sure everything's looking good. Oh yeah, look at that. We've got some room still. So I'm sure we got enough for the battery monitor. And the one I was worried about, the switch, just set that like that. And we'll keep pulling a little bit more. Here we go. Nice and easy. All the weeds and everything like that. Oh, I think we're golden. Okay, let's see if I can't just kind of set you up here a little bit and show you. So the brace on that is on the, there's a brace back there that's higher than the bottom of the frame rail. So I ran the wires underneath that. There is a hole in this frame rail right here that I'm running everything through and filling it. It's just a metal hole, or yes, it's metal and it's a hole, but there's no protectant on it. So before I button this up, I'm actually going to add some protectant to that, and I'll show you that when I get further on, before I button that up though. So I'm going to pull these wires. And I also got some, and I also have some zip ties. I'll come in and I'll get these zip tied together, and then tie them into this so they look good. That's some finished work, but right now we're just concentrating on getting the wires run over to it. So anyways, when I'm ready to go ahead and put the trim plate on, I'll bring you back. So here is our face plate that we're going to be installing, and of course we're going to be installing it in this direction like this. And what I need to do is go ahead and install the gauge on it real quick. Let me set you down. I'm warming up the hot glue because I'm going to be using hot glue to attach my backers for the faceplate screws. There we go. I've got the faceplate, and again, that's going to be the way it's going in. Let's go ahead and put that on, and we'll just get it rotated real quick, level. We got drippage on our hot glue, so here it is. So we're just going to go boom. Make sure that's over something else. Come in. And hold that for a few seconds. All right, that feels good. Now I've got one more piece right here. Let's do it again. I'll say this Ryobi hot glue gun is pretty cool. Okay, so next, come in, get that one in place, and here we go. There's that. Oh boy, yeah, I'm not a very big fan of that. You know, I am pretty sure some of that possibly for because you're going down the road in an earthquake. If you made everything completely tight, you would end up shaking stuff apart worse. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. That's kind of irritating. But of course, right here, this will be screwed down tight. I've got some repairs to do Like right here, I get the trim is kind of starting to pop. There's a couple places that stuff's popping loose. So I got some staples, so I can shoot some staples and put one there and find some putty or something like that. But let's finish this. So hopefully I got you. There we go. Hopefully that'll work so you can see. And we've got our first gauge in. And that's the Q-Work battery monitor. So all it does is just, it's got a cord that you just plug into the back of it. So that one will go in. And you can buy extensions. That is an extension that I've got there on the Q-Work. It's not the regular one that it comes with. So now my switch for the inverter. Get that. Let me get my screwdriver. Take these off. I went to the hardware store and found some nice black chrome screws to mount this with. So I've got a couple just for mounting the switch. Should have tried dry fitted it before I went ahead and finalized everything. I've got to do a little trim over here, just a little bit, because she's not a fitting. We're talking, you know. Here, let's try this real quick. I didn't expect this to go out as far as it did. All right, let me do just a little bit of trimming there and I'll bring you back. You know what? Change of plans. Here's what we're going to do. We're not even going to use that clip. I've got that battery monitor gauge or battery monitor installed real nice and tight and everything like that. Fits really good. We're going to take hot glue and we're just going to hot glue the back of this a little bit. Don't need much. There, that's all we need. It's not going anywhere. Now, let's go ahead and put this in. And survey says all right, so here we go. Had to just give it a little extra trim right there. Not much, just a touch because I got too exact, but look at that. That's going to fit just perfect. Now, I feel that this screw right here is actually going to protrude because it's a 3/4. It might protrude just a little bit when I go screw it in. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and get the board or the faceplate put on. I will come back and I'll just touch that hole with the bit just a little bit, just so that the screw will go in there without binding and not trying to push the faceplate away. It'll hold it in place. And here's how we're going to go ahead and get the holes marked for the get you in position. This is how we're going to go ahead and mark the holes for where we're going to put our screws. Got a drill bit, same size as a hole that I've got in the board. And of course that is a little oversized to the screw that I'm putting in, because I do not want it to try to be threading this and then thread into the backing and try to push away. You want this to kind of float a little bit. So what I'm going to do is come in. I've still got my reference marks for my height. Come in. I'll set it where it needs to be. Make sure it level with that. Come back, touch off with the drill bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You can pull it out. There's some starting for those holes. I can go ahead and take my smaller bit, get in there, drill them, put those screws in place, do the same thing on the bottom, get those in place, and then I'll come back and I'll touch that hole out, and then I'll finish getting this thing together. Now, something I also did was I didn't use that bracket on the back. It was spreading it out, and I thought that was the problem initially, but it was just right here that was the fitment. But I just used some hot glue. It ain't gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna go anywhere. So let me switch out bits. There it is. I just don't want to split out my backer that I put on. Let's get everything back into play. Well, actually, what we can do is just go like this. And there we go. Take that out. Swap out for my Phillips. And let's go ahead and put a couple screws in. Make sure we're right face up. Actually, you know what I need to do first? Let's clean up. We're good. We don't need that anymore. So we got rid of that. That way I don't have to take the thing off and redo it. There's one. I know I grabbed. Oh no. Boy, I thought I lost my screws. I only got enough of them to be exact. All right, so come back in. Just a little bit there. A little bit there. Now I'm going to get a smaller drill for that because I don't want to mess up that. I just want to go through, and there we go. That'll be perfect. So we're going to come in. Add a little bit of a hole there. Now you guys got to remind me, did I put my small hole there or not? I can't remember. Tell me down in the comments below if I did. Nope. There we go. And switch back over. Throw some more screws in. That looks awesome. If I say so. 2 more screws and we're calling this done. Oh, wow. I think that came out looking pretty sweet myself. I don't know about you. Yes. Of course, we'll have to, throw a little polish on it, to finish it out. But hey, yes. All right. Hope you guys are enjoying the series on our RV electrical system upgrade. This video, you'll notice different shirts, different days, different weather. The weather was pretty nasty. Snow, rain, freezing temperatures, everything like that. But I finally got the wires run. I've got this installed. Looks awesome. One step closer to getting this project done. Probably tomorrow I'll have to jump over and look at the furnace on the trailer. I've got an issue with that. Bring you along on the diagnostics tech, and hopefully the local shop's got the parts I need to fix it. So until then, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the video.